Hey guys, Aimon here, and this is where I explore my creative philosophies through video. And today we are talking about how to save 1 hour a day with 3 simple hacks. Now, I'm a little bit of a robot, or at least that's what my friends say. And what I mean by that is I'm always trying to find the most efficient way to do things. And it's a bit of a blessing and a curse because I do save a lot of time, but then, I can obviously be a little bit robotic in the process and miss out on, the actual presence of the activity or whatever it may be. But for some reason, my brain is just so logical and it tries to find the most efficient and effective way to do things. And so that involves saving a lot of time wherever possible. And I've found that I kind of challenge a lot of social conventions by doing things in ways that potentially aren't very normal. And I'll get into a lot of the weird ones maybe in another video. But I'm just gonna get into 3 simple things that I've been doing for quite a while now that have saved me an abundance of time every single day. What you do with that time is obviously up to you, whether you use it wisely or whether you use it to just chill, whatever, man. But these 3 hacks are very simple and you could probably implement them today and save a bunch of time. So let's jump into it. The first one is moving your phone to another room to charge it at nighttime so that when your alarm goes off, you physically have to get out of bed to go and stop it. Now, I had resistance to this one for a long time, but basically I now charge my phone in another room and it goes off at 6:30 every day, and I wake up and I still spend 2 minutes rolling around in bed, right? But by the 3rd time I hear the alarm, it's so annoying that I have to get up and go and stop it, and then I'm already up, so I just kind of start my daily routine. And so I've only implemented this for a couple of weeks now, and previously, I would just wake up, my phone's next to me, and I stop the alarm, and then all of a sudden I've got this computer that's just like screaming for my attention, right? So I open Instagram, I open Reddit, and have a 15-20 minute scroll before I even get out of bed. And so, I've just used a bunch of dopamine looking at my phone before I've even realized that I'm awake. And it took me a while to realize that that's quite a toxic habit and also a very easy one to get into, right? So I just challenged myself the other week, and I've done it every day since. I don't do it on weekends, but every weekday, that's where I put my phone. And so not only has this stopped me looking at apps as soon as I get up, because I just start my morning routine, I go meditate immediately now, and then straight away go for a walk, right? And then when I'm sitting down, having my breakfast, having my smoothie, whatever it is, then I can actually do a little bit of scrolling, right? But I've already gotten a few things done. And that has a major ripple effect because I've already kind of done positive habits rather than immediately doing negative habits. And then I can reward myself with a little bit of scrolling after I've actually done some positive things. And I genuinely notice a huge difference in how I feel on a day-to-day basis. I feel more present because I'm not immediately using all of my brain power looking at mindless stuff. Some of it's useful obviously, but as soon as you get up, you're doing that. Like, is that really how you want to spend your life? But back to the main point is that it saves a bunch of time, because not only am I spending less time on those apps now, but even if I just woke up and rolled around for half an hour, which I know you do, okay? Might not be every day, but let's be honest here. We do it sometimes, okay? And it's okay, especially on weekends, it's all good. But it's a forcing function to make you get up immediately. And I've definitely saved so much time, at least 3 hours a week doing this, because instead of getting up at 7:30 some days, I have to get up at 6:30 every single time. So that saved me a bunch of time. And a little secondary tip here is that the night before, I put all my work clothes or the clothes that I'm going to put on in the morning right there in the bathroom. So that's an extra little time saver, because instead of rolling out of bed, trying to make the decisions for like, what am I gonna wear today? Where are my clothes? Just before you go to bed, you've just plugged your phone in another room, right? And just before you go to bed, you just find your work clothes or the clothes that you're gonna have the next day, and you just put them straight where your phone is. So when you get up, you go and turn that alarm off, it's all there. You don't have to think about it. It's quite a mindless activity and very small and kind of menial, but every little thing like this helps, and this is what I'm talking about when I say I'm a bit of a robot, because I'm always looking for these weird little hacks that improve your life. And it definitely makes a difference rather than getting up and having to make these decisions All the decisions are already made for you for a small thing that you're doing the night before. And all you gotta do is put your pants on, you know? You're a big boy or girl. You can do it, okay? And it will save you time. So that's an extra little tip for number 1. So number 2, and you might not like this one because it does take a little bit of time and investment, but it's going to save you a huge amount of time in the long run. And that is meal prepping breakfasts and or dinners. So I'll focus on breakfasts here for a minute. Basically, and again, you know, call me weirdo, I'm open to it, I'm very aware of it, okay? But I meal prep 3 weeks of breakfasts at a time, all right? So I have a bunch of Tupperware containers, all right? It's silly, my cupboard's full of them, okay? But basically when I'm doing my shopping for the week, I definitely get way too much stuff, okay? And that's because I meal prep a lot in advance. So I definitely walk out of there with, you know, 3 bags and 12 soy milk and I look like a weirdo, but it's like a free workout or something, okay? So try it, I don't know. And it's always a good challenge trying to get it all up to the unit from the car. And I've definitely had some accidents doing it, but it's worth it. So whatever it is that you're doing for your breakfasts, and I like to keep it simple, you know, I have oats and a bunch of different extra things like greens powders and acai powder, and I like to switch it up and a bit of protein in there and whatever. At the moment I'm doing smoothies because it's summer, but if it was winter, I would just eat it straight out of the Tupperware. But because it's all dry food, and depending on what you're having, you know, it's just about putting it all in the one place, obviously going to be fine in that place, and then just in the morning, adding whatever you need to it, a bit of milk or whatever it is. And again, that's one less decision that you have to make, right? And if you've done that for 3 weeks, yeah, it requires, you know, 15 Tupperware containers because, you know, I don't do it on the weekends. I generally have a bit more time and allow myself to get creative with breakfasts on the weekends. But this whole process probably takes me 15 minutes. And I think I have a time lapse of it somewhere, but I'll definitely do it again. But if you think about it, if it takes you 5-10 minutes to do it every single day, when you're in a groggy state and all you want is your coffee and to not make any decisions in the morning, you're saving so much time because you're doing it all in one go. And if you do it for 2 weeks at a time, 3 weeks at a time, even 1 week at a time, and it takes you, you know, 10-15 minutes on a Sunday to just get all your meals ready for the week, it's just way less decisions that you have to make. And that decision fatigue, you know, you're doing all these extra little things and it builds up in the morning, you're gonna perform worse during the day. So, but again, the main thing is that it saves you time, right? And so to touch on lunch and dinner, for example, an extra little tip here is that I only actually have 2 meals every day. I have an idea of how many calories I wanna be eating. You know, I used to count them quite aggressively, but now I'm very aware of how many calories I need. And I make sure that my morning breakfast is a particular amount of calories and my lunch/dinner is a particular amount of calories, and that totals my whole amount of calories. So not only are you saving time because you're meal prepping all of your meals in advance, but you're also saving time because you don't have to eat 3 meals in a day. And I don't know about you, obviously I love eating, but sometimes it does feel like a chore, especially when you come home from work and you want to just sit down and chill or get into some creative work, you know? That is just another thing that's in the way before you get to do that. And then not only that, you have to eat, but then you might be in a bit of a food coma afterwards and might get less work done. So this is definitely going to save you some time if you're open to, you know, doing things a little bit differently, a little bit more weird, maybe not the norm. Like, you know, if you really do want to optimize your life and become more efficient, have more time, get more stuff done, then these are some of the things that I've definitely found that work. And so yeah, just on the lunch and dinner thing, it takes me about 45 minutes to cook and meal prep all of my meals for that week. Again, I only do 5, 1 for every weekday, and then I figure it out on the weekends. And not only does that prevent me from buying food, because all the 5 meals probably cost me $20 to $25 for the 5 meals, which is great value for a huge amount of protein that I'm putting in my meals, right? But then every single day, you know, all I got to do is take a meal out of the freezer or just take it out of the fridge and heat it up and it's done, right? So I don't have to think about what I'm going to make and then figure it out or go and purchase food, which is probably going to be unhealthy and you're spending money. So that's my second easy hack to help you save an hour every day. So my third hack, and you're going to hate this one, but I've only figured this out about a week ago, and it's literally saved me about 5 hours this last week, which is insane. So if you do this one alone, it'll no doubt save you about an hour every day, and that is putting time limits on your apps. Now, I have an iPhone, so it's very easy to do this just in your screen time. but I'm sure there is a way to do it on Android as well. Look, you may be an amazing wizard that already spends little time on your phone, in which case you're probably making the videos that I'm watching rather than this video being for you. But if you're a normal human being like most of us, then you probably spend a little too much time on a couple of apps, right? And I know that mine is Instagram and Reddit. Pretty much on the daily, I'd rack up about an hour, sometimes an hour and a half on both of those apps. And just putting these time limits in place, I put it on 25 minutes and it gives you a 5-minute warning and then goes straight out of the app as well, and you can't use it for the rest of the day, has been life-changing because I'm spending so much less time on my phone. And not only do I have that extra time to be experiencing life without being sucked into a digital world, but it's having a net positive effect on my mental health as well, because obviously I'm spending less time giving all my dopamine and serotonin to apps that don't generally give me a lot of value in return. Catching up on news and doing some socializing, they're valuable things. But generally I can do all of that within 25 minutes every day on those apps. And I might even play with getting a bit more strict on it in the future, but for now, that's definitely been a fantastic hack that I've learned. I'm gonna keep it up because it's been amazing for my time. Now, what am I doing with that time? Well, let's not get into that, okay? Because it's not always productive, but I've definitely made a lot of stuff this week that I didn't make last week, that's for sure, and I attribute it to these 3 things. So let's run through it one more time very quickly. So basically it's 6:30, my alarm goes off in my bathroom. I wake up and I go straight to the bathroom because I have to get out of bed because my alarm is really annoying. So I stop my alarm, put my clothes on because I've put them there from the night before, brush my teeth, the usual, right? Go out, have some water, and then put my food immediately into a blender with a bit of soy milk, blend it up, and that's my smoothie, that's my breakfast. Takes me about 30 seconds to make. And then I have the whole morning to be productive and do things like meditation, go for a walk before work. And then at work, when lunchtime rolls around, I pull out my lunch and put it straight into the microwave, and boom, my lunch is already made because it takes me 45 minutes to make all the meals on Sunday and maybe another 10-15 to make breakfasts on the weekend. And then any extra time that I have throughout the day, rather than pulling out my phone and having a scroll, I lean towards doing something a bit more productive because I've got limits on how long I can use these apps for. Realistically, I think you can save much more than 1 hour every day. And I'd love to know if you have any of these habits or any other habits that I've missed here. If you like this video, I've definitely got heaps more weird stuff that I do that I didn't mention in this one that saves me a few minutes every day. So let me know if you want to hear more of those, but I thought I'd stick with the ones that make the biggest impact on my life, at least now, because saving an hour a day could mean that you could be spending that hour pursuing your creative dream, pursuing creative work that is really fulfilling, which is going to have a much bigger effect on your potential future or just how you feel right now. Or you can just spend that time chilling out, watching TV, or spend it with loved ones or socializing. And I don't know about you, but I've definitely recognized as humans, we do a lot less of that than we probably should be, And I'm a really creative person. I like doing creative things, but the modern world, it puts different things in front of me, which makes it harder than it needs to be to do creative things. And if I do my best to take those things away and just to make things a little bit easier on myself so I have to make less decisions, then when it comes time to be creative, I have more energy, more mental energy, and more time to actually invest in that thing, which is making my life better. So I hope you've gotten some value out of this. And if you're not doing any or all of these, I hope it's maybe challenged at least some of your thinking to potentially challenge yourself and implement one or a few of these habits. And if it does, I really want to know about it. I really want to know if it helps you, because it definitely helps me, and I want to do my best to help other people as well. So that's my episode on creative philosophy for today. I'm sure that you can give some of these a crack today, if not right now, and I hope it saves you some time. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe because I have a bunch of stuff like this coming very soon, and I'll see you in the next video.